Get up, mama. A wise person once said, how you live your days is how you live your life. Girl, get up and pour into yourself. Whatever that looks like for you. It's going to look different for everyone. But I need you to know what that looks like for you. I need you to understand what that means for you. For me, it may mean something totally different from what it means to you. My bad, y'all may hear this fan, but I can't turn it off. The gnats are gnatting, and the heat is heating. Welcome back to the podcast. Wherever you are right now, whether that's driving in your vehicle, folding some laundry, cleaning your house, or just sitting down, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for showing up for yourself. I just want to say I'm really glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about something simple, like always, but something very imperative, which is the small habits that start helping me feel like myself again, or just finding my way through life where I'm able to live in the present moment and not dread life so much, because it can happen. You can start dreading your life so much if you don't understand how to be grateful and how to set up systems into your life. And I don't want that for you. That ain't a good feeling. So today we're going to learn how to set systems and habits and routines and stuff. And whenever I speak to you, I need you to know that the things that I talk about are not expected to be like an overnight transformation. I also want you to understand that it doesn't mean being perfect. I don't even know what perfect looks like. I don't even know why we be holding ourselves to that standard of what perfect looks like. What does that look like for you? Like just getting everything right, or just being intentional? Is that what perfect is? Because I really don't know what the heck, where did we even get that from? Like trying to be perfect. That's insane. In that way that we put on ourselves. I think perfect, to me, what I learned about perfect is just being intentional. Like being intentional about what you're doing, showing up and giving everything you got. Whether that's 10%, whether that's 100%, whether that's 20%. I want to talk about the small things that help me feel more grounded, that also help me feel more fulfilled, and it also helped me come back to myself, like just incorporating these small little habits. A lot of times we think drastic change is what's necessary or what's needed, and it's in the small things. It is in the small things. What you do, how you do it, why you do it. It's in the small things, not the big picture. The small things are how you got the big picture. The small things are how you got the results you got, which are your habits and your routines. We talk about that, huh? So in the previous episode, we talked about like just identifying your habits and your routines. And I think as mamas, we get so focused on just like surviving the day. We made it through this day with a child alive, or with our kids alive, you're alive, you in your right mind, that type of stuff. Just like trying to survive the day, that we forget about our daily habits that shapes us emotionally too. All right, but before we get into the habits and stuff like that, let's get into our word of the day, which is nourish. I want you to nourish yourself, not just physically, but emotionally. I want you to nourish yourself mentally and spiritually. Like, that's our word of today. Making sure you nourish yourself. I think everybody is on this talk now where it's about just like self-care, self-love, and like making sure you learn yourself, learn your habits, learn your routines, learn the things that you like and the things that you don't like. And I say, even if you think you learned yourself, keep learning yourself, because we're forever changing. So I got to ask you a question. What would it look like today if you nourish yourself instead of like just pouring out to other people? Like making sure, I know you're going to make sure everybody good. I know that. I understand that. I know exactly who you are. I know what type of mama you are. You're going to make sure everybody good in all of those departments that I just named. But if you could nourish yourself today, what would that look like for you? Do you need more rest? Some people do. Some people are going, daily responsibilities, kids, schedule filled up to the brim. They rarely get any sleep. And sometimes you just need a day or some time to yourself just to get some rest. And that is okay. And sometimes some of us get too much rest. and we may need something else. If you feel like you're getting too much rest, so like you're sleeping a lot, you're sleeping here and there, and you're always exhausted and tired, I would say go, check on yourself, because it could be something going on with you emotionally, could be something going on with you physically, it could be something going on with your hormones. That's one of our main factors as women, is like our hormones. Our hormones plays a huge part in our day-to-day life. You need, check on your hormones, learn your hormones, learn your phases too. As a woman, throughout the month, you'll understand why you tick the way you tick, why you're ticking, when you start ticking, and those type of things, like when you feel some type of way. But like rest, some people need more play. Do you need more play? That's more hobbies. Oh, I tried a new hair wrap recently too. By the way, I feel good about that. But I need you to know what that looks like for you. And we're going to take a moment and we're going to do like a 1 minute grounding reset. Because I know we don't do that enough. I know we don't stop and pause throughout the day to just like realign ourselves or to ground ourselves. And I think that is one thing that I learned that helped me grow personally, that helped me grow mentally, spiritually, physically. All of that is like taking a moment to ground myself, to see where I'm at in the middle of the day. So we're going to take a slow, deep breath in. Hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And exhale slowly. I want you to relax your shoulders. I want you to unclench that jaw, lady. You do not have to rush through this moment. You are allowed to pause too. I want you to take 1 deep breath in. Hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And release. That felt good, didn't it? You should try to do it more often. So our affirmation of the day is small acts of care for myself matter too. So I want you to take that with you throughout your day. Repeat it as many times as you need to throughout your day. I used to think that I needed like this huge life reset. That I needed like this whole makeover, this whole do-over. That I just ruined my life. My life is over. I made horrible mistakes. I'm a horrible person. I needed more time. I needed to buy more things and, that type of stuff, right? When you start feeling sad for yourself or just don't like where you are in life, that whole spiel we do, that one, right? But honestly, I noticed that the biggest change comes from the smallest habits. You won't believe me, but I was watching this dinosaur movie one day with my kids. And at the end of the movie, it said something similar, but not quite. Like the smallest things can have the biggest impact. We think we need a whole life do-over, or like a life rehaul, or a life haul, or something of the sort. We just need to start over, or I wish I wouldn't have done this. Some things I wish I wouldn't have done. I feel like I could have went a different route, but for the most part, it's all of that stuff can be molded differently or shaped differently with your habits. And your habits create your routine. It was in my habits and my routine, and still to this day, the biggest change in my life, or the biggest changes in my life, came from the smallest habits. You think you need like this grand gesture of things that's going to reshape your life, transform your life, give you a whole new different life, that type of stuff. But for me, it was the small habits, the things that seem so simple, are the things that made me change how I feel on a daily basis. Like for an example, I'm a stickler for getting ready for the day. That was habit number 1. Remember I told you, when you look good, you feel good. It ain't gonna solve all your problems, but it can be a start to something. If you've been looking all soggy and sad for a little while, you want to tighten up. You just want to get yourself together. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It makes you feel better. That's what we want, right? Okay then, so get your behind up and get ready for the day. I don't even mean fully get dressed sometimes. You just want something that makes you feel good about your human being. Because when you feel good, it gives you this boost of energy to make you want to create more, make you want to give more, makes you want to be more in life. That's why I say it's deeper than your appearance. It's about the way that it shifts your moods too. It's just like something like those 5 or 10 minutes remind me of like that I matter too. Like putting my human together matters too. And actually it's the most important. Not on a selfish thing, not on a self-centered thing, but it's like the most important thing because you have to make sure you're good before you go in and make sure everybody else good. I'm not saying you got to be 100% good. No, I don't think that's any of us. If you've been listening, we all falling a little short out here somewhere. Habit number 2 for me, going outside. I've always been like an outside person. I just love outside, except for when the bugs just start attacking me. Like, we gotta go. But as far as like the sunshine, the sunlight, just being outside in nature, listening to the animals, just being one with myself, feet touching the ground, getting grounded, being barefoot outside. Working. I told you I have a garden and I have chickens. You gotta somewhat like outside to be doing some stuff like that. But get out there in nature. It'll liven you up, girl. This one sounds so small, but it will change your mood so fast. Now, if you don't like outside, it may not change your mood like that. I'm not even gonna lie. That's why I say know who you are. Know what you need. Because them bugs can get very irate. They can be to the point where you don't even like outside. So I get that. But if you just step outside for a minute, if you can, to like watch your kids play, or like to just watch just nature just do its thing, it's beautiful and it's grounding. I would say habit number 3, like nourishing my body better, not perfectly, but like intentional. I believe in balance, but I do eat with intentions, like drinking more water, more wholesome food, and juicing sometimes, not because I'm chasing perfection, but it's just that I want to feel good in my body. And so I try to be intentional about the things that I do, and because your body gonna tell you what it needs and what it doesn't need. Like if you can hear it, if you stop numbing it. No offense. I'm saying that because that's something I did too. I think this was the most promising habit that I've created and that I learned is quiet moments, sitting in silence. And especially when I learned how to take my 5 minutes before like the whole world needed something from me, that was a game changer too. Sometimes I may get longer, but I make sure those things happen for me, because in those quiet moments, I'm going to learn so much about myself. It's like no rushing, no phones, no voices, no people, like to filter my thoughts. Like no people to filter my thoughts, because a lot of times our thoughts are filtered throughout the day and we really don't know, like we really don't slow down to grasp what we want and what we're thinking. Just imagine you've been collecting data ever since you hit the womb of your mama. Ever since you hit that tummy, your mama's tummy, you've been collecting data. You've been hearing conversations. You've been picking up things from conversations. And especially from the time you hit this world, you've been learning and collecting data from everybody that you came in contact with. And you're still doing it to this day. That is years worth of data that you have to cipher through. That are years worth of data that if you're not intentional, your emotions will pick the thoughts that you may not want them to pick, if that makes sense. Have put a disclaimer on this video. I am not a licensed therapist. I am not a psychologist. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a therapist. I am not a counselor. So I want you to take what you hear with a grain of salt. If it don't apply, let it fly. If it seems reasonable, try it. If it ain't gonna harm yourself, try it. You know what I'm saying? My video probably done cut off by now. I lost access to it for a while. Somebody had to get better at that. I am 10 podcasts in and it still be cutting off on me. Like just breathing, praying, and like sitting quietly. So stop for a moment to see which data do you want to keep and which data you want to release. I think sometimes we underestimate how powerful small habits really are. So we think healing or growth has to look, once again, dramatic. Most of the time, it's built in those tiny, small little moments. So our question of the day is, what is one small habit that makes you feel like yourself? Okay, so now we're going to get to our real life check-in. We list one of our rule of the weeks, our proud moment of the week, and our joy moment of the week. So I'm going to go with my rule for the week is these doggone press-on nails. Yeah, I love my press-on nails. They're convenient, but I have a love and hate relationship with them. They're convenient. They're easy. You can pop them on, pop them off, especially if you got kids, right? But the one annoying thing or the one irritating thing is when these jokers just be popping off and then you ain't got glue. Then it's not that. What if they pop off and you can't even find it? Okay, not too much on the press-ons, but that's just how I feel about press-on because I done had to record this whole video with one missing on my finger. I ain't want to. I wanted to just call it a day, but that ain't me. I ain't finna let something like a press-on nail make me call something like this a day now. But I wanted to though. Just know, in my heart, deep down somewhere, so my proud moment for the week. Something I am proud of. I'm gonna have to give it to myself again. Like sticking to it even when I don't want to. Even when I don't feel like it. I did that a lot this week. Like just doing it sometimes even when you don't feel like it. Not because I wasn't capable, but just because I didn't feel like it, so I got up anyways. All right, one of my joy moments for this month would be I met up with a mommy friend that I met some months back, and I think we had a pretty decent mama date. So I'm proud of myself for reaching out and being vulnerable, and I'm also proud of myself for just like trying to get into different groups of people or different people that are in different walks of life or that I'm just not in everyday contact with. So proud of myself for venturing out a little bit more. So yeah, I think that's one of my proud moments. So we're going to scroll right on into our next segment of the podcast, and that's going to be our question and answer segment. So our first question of the day is, there is a blue moon coming up in the month of, I heard there was a blue moon coming up soon. Do you study those type of things? Hey lady, thank you for asking this. I love having these type of conversations or just speaking to people who are into things like this. Am I full on into astrology? No, I'm not. But there are some things that I do know of. And the blue moon is something that allegedly comes every blue moon, hence the name. And it does say, I did look up some stuff though. It says there should be a blue moon coming on May the 31st. It said the timing of the moon will reach its peak at 3:45 a.m. PDT. It says it will appear almost completely full during the evenings of both May 30th and May the 31st. You've been asking me this question. It's always a blessing to gain some type of knowledge and wisdom on certain things. Also, for the people who don't know like what a blue moon is or why the blue moon exists, it says a blue moon is a second full moon in a single calendar month, or the third full moon in a season containing 4 full months. I know that wasn't a topic about like mama things, but I thought it was an interesting question when it popped up. So my next question is, I really don't understand how to connect with myself. I don't know what it is that I like. I don't know what I want to do in life. I feel so lost, and I'm a mama raising kids, and I have 3 kids, all under the age of 10, and I just feel so lost. How do I find myself, or how do I get myself out of this hole? First, I would say just, what did you like to do before you became a mama? I always like to ask that question because sometimes that helps bring things into perspective for some mamas. Like, what is it that you like to do before you became a mama? And if you do remember, start doing that and see if that still piques your interest. So the next thing I would advise you to do is to become more spiritually connected, because I think a lot of times we're not sure about things in our life because we're not connected to the source. And to me, the source is God, and God is within us. Like, where are you spiritually? And how do you connect with yourself spiritually? So find ways to connect with yourself spiritually. That's why I would say start. Because you got to get to know yourself. You want to get to know yourself. That's what pouring into yourself means. Like, getting to know yourself. What do you like? Trying new things. Like, do you do anything outside of just mothering or going to work or taking care of their responsibilities? Like, do you have any playtime? And when I say playtime, I don't mean you got to have ample amount of time throughout the day. That could be 30 minutes where you just sit and learn something new. Or you sit and just kick your feet back. Like, what is it that you do for you outside of your kids? I think you got to start with those three. I would say start with those three things. Like, ask yourself, what is it that you like to do before you had your kids? If you do know that. Second, I would say connect with yourself spiritually. To get to know yourself. To get to understand yourself. Like, what is it that you do outside of your kids? And if you don't have anything you do outside of your kids, find something. Yeah, I know we do 2 questions, and that's our 2 questions for today. And we're going to move into something a little different that I wanted to read off for you guys. Show my appreciation, to let y'all know that I see y'all comments. And I thank y'all, and I appreciate y'all for being a part of the village. You have the most buttery, moisturized neo-soul speaking voice I've ever heard. Your voice sounds like family reunion feels when it goes right. Is that so? Alright, cool. Thank you so much. Marley Bell says, thanks for the reminder. I'm sorry, I have not been stating who asked these questions or who made these comments. I'm going to do that right now, though. Takara shared her self-check-in moment, which is her roof of the week was no motivation for myself. And so what is going on with you? If you don't mind me asking, why do you feel like you don't have motivation, for yourself? What are you going through? What's going on with you this week? Or in your case, last week? Your proud moment for the week. Takara, proud moment for the week was my awesome son turned 10. Happy belated birthday, baby. Your joy moment for the week was running through splash pad with my kids. You know what? That don't sound that bad for the type of weather that's outside. That actually sounds amazing. So I may take that proud moment and just use it for myself. Thank you for sharing. All right, so we have Knit Z, who says, peace queen. I'm outside grounding, drinking my okra water and listening to the birds try to outsound a woodpecker. I'm feeling joyful. I'm feeling joyful for you, girl. That sounds, I need to come join you. You know what? I've never tried the okra water before. How is that? Oh, someone said, I paused the TV for this mashup. I love it. Thank you so much for your resilience and knowledge, queen. I do need to upload more mashups. We're going to read one more from Zoe Speaks Life. I miss the beauty of the old me. I would get up and get myself together every single day before I had kids. Now I do it here and there. I want to get back supporting into me consistently again. All right, Zoe Speaks Life. That's what we're doing for this week. For the remainder of the week, every single day. That's how I want you to nourish yourself. I want to say thank y'all for being vulnerable enough to share y'all stories and how you feel and what you're going through. Oh yeah, I'm going to read from Isabel McKinney. So good to have you back. I'm so sorry for your loss and the trials that have come since. I'm thinking and praying for you, friend. This podcast helps heal a piece of me every time I listen, and it's so good to hear a new episode. Looking forward to all the ones to come. Thank you, Isabel McKinney, and thank you for being a part of the village. I appreciate you too, love. But we're going to wrap it up here. If you enjoyed this podcast or this podcast resonated with you, please share it with another mama. And until next time, thank y'all for joining me. Remember, but whatever you choose to do, just remember to love on yourself just a little bit more today. Pour into you. You got this, baby.